We've got 10 juicy Am I the A-hole Reddit stories for this video today. Starting it off hot with, am I the a-hole for accidentally letting my sister-in-law get chemical burns on her face? This story doesn't have an update, but a bunch of the other ones do. So stick around for 9 more Reddit stories, including, am I the a-hole for refusing to share my dinner with 2 children? This is one of the stories with an update, as well as the story we're gonna end off on, am I the a-hole for selling my Taylor Swift tickets after my girlfriend cheated? Alrighty, chat, you know the drill. Let's lock in here. Am I the a-hole for accidentally letting my sister-in-law get chemical burns on her face? My husband, 26 male, and I, 26 female, bought our first home 7 months ago. His younger sister, 16 female, who just got her license, frequently shows up unannounced and has trouble taking no for an answer. Last Friday, she came over after dinner and asked to stay the night. We agreed since we had no plans. She asked to shower, so we let her use ours, as our guest bathroom isn't stocked yet. I splurge on salon quality hair care products because my hair is unruly, and my $27 shampoo bottle was brand new. Later, I found half the shampoo and nearly all the conditioner gone, along with my skincare scattered across the counter. She'd used almost $50 worth of hair products and all of my skin stuff, including my prescription skincare, stored in a pharmacy bag. I asked her to bring her own products next time as I wasn't comfortable with how much she used. I was in no way rude. I just explained that I splurge on really expensive products and can't afford to have $50+ of product gone every time she showers here. She called me selfish in a passive-aggressive way and ended up leaving. By Tuesday, her hair was red, peeling, and breaking out terribly. At dinner with my in-laws Tuesday, she blamed me for not warning her about my skincare. I explained I hadn't expected her to dig through my drawers and use prescription products, which are expensive, and took my skin weeks to adjust to. My father-in-law said I should pay for a doctor visit, but my husband refused, arguing that at 16, she should know better, and that it was inappropriate for her to look through my medicine bag to even find the prescription product that was likely the culprit for the irritation. Hey, at least we got the husband defending OP there. That's always a good sign. Am I at fault for not warning her? I wouldn't go through someone's personal products, let alone use their stuff like it was my own. I would have been happy to share some skin products, not my prescription cream. She also brought up that I got mad she used so much shampoo and conditioner and basically made me look really bad in front of my in-laws. Admittedly, I was upset about the shampoo and conditioner and the fact that she left a huge mess on the counter. But I was very calm and just explained money is tight as we just bought our house and I didn't want her to use months of products in one shower. I mean, that's just, chat, that's just karma. That's just karma working. I do not believe OP should cave. That being said, I think there needs to be some sort of conversation, at least with OP's in-laws, with the parents of the 16-year-old. I think there does need to be some sort of conversation here to at least potentially shift the blame, because clearly they think that it's OP's fault. Although I could absolutely see this being kind of like a golden child situation where the parents are just diehard, oh, my daughter can never be in the wrong. That is just insane to dig through someone else's shit. Half a bottle of shampoo is crazy. That's not even good for your hair. Like, unless she's like Rapunzel in this bitch, there's no way that's good for her hair. I'm a man and I know that. I'd be sending over a bill for all the product the sister-in-law wasted. No, actually, I mean, that's just like bad etiquette. I would be embarrassed if I was the parents. Am I the a-hole for refusing to let my neighbor use my driveway after she's been parking in it without asking? So I, 30 female, live in a suburban neighborhood with my husband, 32 male. We have a double driveway that fits both our cars comfortably, and we've lived here for about 5 years. Our next door neighbor, let's call her Linda, moved in a year ago. She's an older woman in her late 50s who seems friendly on the surface, but has also started to cause some issues. It started a few months ago when I came home and found her car parked in my driveway. At first, I thought it was a mistake, so I knocked on her door to ask her to move it. She apologized, saying she had a guest over and her driveway was full. I let it slide that time. But then it kept happening. I'd come home to find her car, or sometimes her guests' cars, in my driveway. I told her multiple times that it wasn't okay, but she just shrugged it off and moved the car when I asked, often saying things like, "It's not like you were using it right then." The final straw happened last week. My mother-in-law, the one who isn't exactly my biggest fan, was visiting, and I specifically asked her to park in the driveway so she wouldn't block the street. When we came home from running errands, Linda's car was there again. Mother-in-law was already in a bad mood, and she snidely remarked, "Wow, even your neighbors walk all over you. I wonder why." Yo, give that mother-in-law the boot, bro. If my mom ever talked to my wife like that, I would fucking berate her. If I were OP, I would choose violence, because that's crazy. I was furious. I knocked on Linda's door and told her this was the last time she was parking in my driveway, period. She got defensive, saying I was being unreasonable since she only does it occasionally, and that it's just a driveway, not a sacred space. Since then, she started giving me the cold shoulder, and I've noticed her glaring at me whenever I'm outside. My husband says I might have gone too far and should have just let it slide, especially since she's older and it's not worth the drama. Even my mother-in-law shockingly agreed, saying that I should pick my battles. Fucking make up your mind, mother-in-law. Does she let people walk all over her, or does she not pick her battles correctly? What the? God, I'm honestly more mad at this mother-in-law out of anybody. Like, the old lady just sounds dumb. The mother-in-law sounds like a fucking bitch. But I feel like it's my property and I shouldn't have to keep asking someone not to use it without permission. At the same time, maybe I overreacted by confronting her so harshly. Nah, bro, I think you did the right thing. I think you should have towed her car instead. She clearly is not somebody who's picking up what you're putting down. So in order for her to pick up what you're putting down, you have to slap her in the face. And the slap in the face is if you tow her car. Also need to figure out a way to slap that mother-in-law in the face. No way is she gonna disrespect you in your house like that. Fuck a mother-in-law. We all hate the mother-in-law. Bro, boot the husband and the mother-in-law. I mean, the husband wasn't too bad. Well, actually, just kidding. Actually, that's a good point. The husband also kind of sucks. The husband has to have his wife's back. There is an update to this, and the title of the update is, "My neighbor kept parking in my driveway, so I had her car towed." Today, things finally came to a head. I woke up early for an appointment, only to find Linda's car parked in my driveway again, blocking me in. My husband had already left for work, so I knocked on her door and waited for about 15 minutes, but there was no answer. I even tried calling her, but her phone went straight to voicemail. Wait, hold on. So this husband woke up, went outside, saw that this woman's car was blocking his wife's car and could potentially make her late, but he didn't do jack shit about it. I need some divorce papers in chat, because this paired with his shitty mother-in-law, like, why are you putting up with that? I know it's just a parked car in the driveway. Call me dramatic, but I'm sure this bleeds into other aspects of their marriage. I could put money on that. I was running late and completely fed up, so I called a towing company. They arrived quickly, and as they were hooking up her car, Linda stormed out of her house furious. She yelled at me and the tow truck driver, calling me petty and claiming I could have just waited a bit longer or left a note. I calmly reminded her that I asked her multiple times to stop parking in my driveway, but she wasn't having it. She ended up paying the towing fee, and now she's absolutely livid. She's been telling other neighbors that I'm a vindictive control freak, and a couple of them have hinted that I might have gone too far. Even my husband thinks I could have handled it differently and avoided escalating things. What a fucking little bitch of a man. I can't believe that, dude. That couldn't be me. I would not put up with that shit. And of course, my mother-in-law, who's visiting today, had to chime in with one of her usual subtle digs. As we were sitting down for lunch, she casually remarked, "Some people just can't manage conflict like adults." I'm pretty sure she wasn't talking about Linda. So now Linda glares at me every time she sees me. My husband is annoyed about the neighborhood drama, and my mother-in-law is treating this like it's my personal failure. I still think I was justified, but I'll admit the fallout is a lot to deal with. Girl, get out. Get out. What are you still doing here, bro? If you don't have any kids, this is a clean break. I am almost 100% sure you could find another man who will actually back you and support you with shit like this, and who doesn't have a mother-in-law who is a walking contradiction. I know some people are gonna be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you would tell her to divorce after just a car parked in the driveway." But like, there's more. There has to be more. Like, if he's not supporting his wife on something as easy as don't park in our fucking driveway, like, what else is he not supporting her with? Am I the a-hole for shutting my sister out of my family's lives and declining her wedding invitation? 5 years ago, my niece Nikki and her friends ridiculed and harassed my son Mark. They speculated about his sexuality, called him slurs, and even used the N-word with a hard R, all for their entertainment. When Mark came home, he was crying, shaking, and yelling as he tried to tell me what happened. It was heartbreaking. I immediately approached my sister to address this issue. I explained Mark's side of the story and the state he was in, but she dismissed it, claiming her daughter and her friends would never act that way. She didn't even offer to talk to Nikki. This wasn't an isolated incident. A few months before, Nikki kicked Mark in the genitals in front of her friends as a joke. When I demanded an explanation and an apology, Nikki refused, started crying, and claimed it was unfair to hold her accountable even as Mark was still in pain. Nikki also has a history of mean-spirited behavior, such as calling my younger son Corey, less than 6 years old, the annoying child instead of his name. Corey has asked me why she does this and shared how much it upsets him. Ugh, some people shouldn't be parents, bro. Someone commented on one of my videos or in one of my live streams that people should be legally required to take IQ tests before having children. I know it's incredibly dystopian, but I don't necessarily disagree with that. Chat, this might be a hot take, but I feel like the human race is only gonna get dumber because dumber people have more kids. Not saying all people who have kids are dumb, just there are a lot of dumb people out there who have a lot of kids. Humanity is fucked. Also, chat, I think there are a lot of smart people who see the bad parts about having kids and how overpopulated we are and choose not to have kids. This clip right here is going to be in the history books for why the human race failed. In the case of Mark, my sister doubled down, claiming that one of Nikki's friends, the one who used the N-word, couldn't possibly be racist because she's Mexican. Oh, well, if she's another race, she can't possibly be saying things that are offensive to other races. That wouldn't make any sense. Her exact words were, "I don't know what you want me to do about this." It was the final straw for me. I told her if she wasn't willing to address the situation, it was in my family's best interest to distance ourselves. 3 days later, she called me, said she spoke to Nikki, and told me, "We're good on my end. No details, no resolution, just that." When I followed up via email asking what was discussed and what actions would be taken, she never responded. To this day, no apology has been offered, not from my sister, Nikki, or the other kids involved. I informed my extended family about the situation and my decision to keep my kids away from my sister's family. While some were supportive, others, including my mother, have tried to undermine this boundary. One time, my mom secretly took my kids to spend time with my sister's family without my permission. I only found out because my younger son mentioned it. I was furious and drove an hour to pick them up immediately. Ah, yes, there it is. The keep the peace mother. The mother who's probably the reason that this sister is such a piece of shit and is able to have piece of shit offspring. We hate to see it. Fast forward to today, I've received criticism for maintaining this boundary. My sister is now getting married and invited us to the wedding, but I declined. My mother even asked if she could take my kids to the wedding, and I flatly said no. There's been no effort from my sister to apologize or reconcile. The only time she reached out after the incident was to add me to a group chat asking if we could take her to a birthday party in Chicago. No mention of the harm she caused. I'm standing firm in my decision to protect my kids, but I've been labeled as overly harsh and unforgiving. Nah, dude. Not only do you want to keep your kids away from pretty much being bullied, but also you don't want to teach your young kids that that type of behavior is okay. That's the biggest red flag for me. Is like what the sister's teaching these kids is that this behavior has no consequences. These are the kids that are gonna grow up and post a TikTok doing blackface and have no idea that it's gonna completely ruin their chances of getting into college and getting a job in the future. Dead ass. Those are the kids that this sister is raising, not the a-hole. Everyone sucks here except for OP. Well, I guess OP's kids don't suck, but that's just a given. Update. I'd like to start by reminding everyone that I am a mom. My time on Reddit is limited. I can pop in for a quick one-line response in the morning, but once my kids are awake, I'm fully in mom mode until they're asleep again. This is why my posts and updates tend to happen late at night. For those claiming this post is fake, think what you want. I'm not wasting my energy convincing you otherwise. My daily life is already exhausting, especially with the added family pressure I'm dealing with. To provide some context, this situation started 5 years ago. My relationship with my mother wasn't great to begin with. After she secretly took my kids to spend time with my sister, I distanced my family from her too. About a week later, my mom reached out to apologize and took steps towards reconciliation. A few months after that, I started allowing her back into our lives, but I set firm boundaries. For instance, she's not allowed to take my kids anywhere without me. For the next year, I avoided large family gatherings to steer clear of my sister. However, 3 years after the incident, we attended a funeral where my sister and her family were present. My youngest, who was only 2 at the time of the original events, didn't even remember them. Today, he's curious and might want to get to know them, but Mark has no interest. He'll smile politely in shared spaces, but that's it. Corey remembers hearing the annoying child, but doesn't realize it was directed at him. Over the years, we've had minimal interaction with my sister's family during shared events, mostly just nods of acknowledgement. Still, no apologies or meaningful attempts to reconcile have ever come from my sister. This year, the pressure from extended family has been relentless, with my brother being the most vocal. He insists I need to squash my feud because family events aren't the same. After last night, I realized getting everyone in a room to address this was impossible, so I sent a message in our family group chat. I explained that while some may not fully grasp the impact of what happened, it was deeply hurtful and damaging to my family. I also asked them to focus on this special time for my sister while respecting my boundaries and leaving my family out of it. I made it clear that if anyone couldn't respect my boundaries, I would have no choice but to distance myself from them as well. This prompted some quick responses like, "I'm sorry if I made you feel that way," and "I wasn't trying to pressure you. It's been 5 years of uncomfortable moments, family jabs, and constant pressure for the sake of keeping the peace. It's been draining, but I want to sincerely thank this community for the advice and support you've given me over the last 24 hours. The renewed energy to stand firm in my decision has meant more than I can express." Interesting update. I feel like it was very not much of an update. There wasn't too much of an update there. I'm glad to hear OP stood their ground on this. I do think there is a form of low to no contact that OP needs to go, because like at a certain point, it's just not going to get better. And it's mad annoying that the brother is like, "Oh, this is on you to repair, even though you and your kids aren't the problem. It's our other sister." Like that would piss me the fuck off. And putting up with 5 years of that is ridiculous. I respect the play of like, you guys need to stop or I'm gonna cut off contact. But I also think cutting off contact with some people would really set the precedent and get everybody else to shut up. I kind of want the nuclear option here. Where's Beans right now? Egnu asks. By the way, Egnu, welcome to the stream. Beans is, oh. Egnu, he hurt you.
Hello, handsome man.
The people want to see you. They want to see how handsome you are.
Say hello, pretty boy. You don't want to look at the camera?
Bro literally does his hardest to like not look at the camera.
He's so shy. He's just a shy little guy.
Me and my handsome man very much appreciate y'all. Oh, okay. The handsome man has spoken. He said, "Today's my off day. Am I the a-hole for refusing to share my dinner with 2 children? My female 29 boyfriend, Albert, male 35, and I have had a great relationship until his family moved closer to us. I haven't seen a more toxic or entangled family connection. It seems like every ex and their mother is an enemy. Every ex-boss had it out for them. Every friend should help out more and more. Everyone should take their verbal abuse. After a few run-ins, I cut mother-in-law off. His sister, female 37, is in the habit of showing up at dinner time. She has 2 kids, 7 female, 9 male, and she always brings them along. I didn't mind sharing a meal, but I hated her dropping by without a warning. Albert never took action, and this created problems. I feel like a red flag that people don't talk about enough is if people are like this, where like every day they're talking about how like so-and-so did them wrong, how so-and-so is so toxic. There's always somebody new fucking up their life. I think that's a red flag because there's multiple cases. They either are the problem, but always tell the story as if they're not the problem, and or they like find a reason to be mad at everything that anybody ever does. And I think both of those things are super big red flags. Also, what's new, chat? Another incompetent husband. Sister-in-law has an unbearable parenting style. They are good kids, but she overindulges them and lets too many things slide as they are just kids. So they interject in adult conversations, have crying fits when told no, and are prone to grabbing / touching / taking objects without permission. So they took things around the house, cupboard items, small sculptures, my stash of hotel toiletries, my hair extensions, to play with, and had me going crazy trying to find them later. Fast forward, and her son, who has anxiety, had a small crisis from opening our kitchen drawer and grabbing some poppets / party snaps. Some fell and popped really loud, and he cried because he was embarrassed. I did not offer comfort because it would be indulging his snoopy behavior, so I stayed quiet and asked Albert to talk to his sister, which I'm sure he didn't. I'm not happy in my relationship. I don't have privacy. His sister keeps showing up despite being told by myself that she can't keep showing up uninvited. I'm sick of having to hide things that I think her kids could get their hands on. I recently put a lock on my home office door because I suspect that sister-in-law has been using my copy machine while I'm out. Bro, if you gotta put a lock on your door in your own house because someone who lives outside of that house is crossing your boundaries, get the fuck out of there. Especially if you're not happy, this paragraph in itself is a reason to divorce. Ignore everything else that you've included in this post so far. Like, get out, sister. I work both at home and at 2 client sites and have been getting home after 8 p.m. I'm sick of being tense and dreading her visits because he lets her eat through our groceries like she has a right to do it. He has called me selfish and greedy. I thought he would be more considerate now that they gave him less hours at work, and his pay cut has caused me to pay for most of our bills. Sister-in-law is a nail technician and a hairstylist. She was also a teacher at a beauty academy until she had her kids. Now she won't do anything but badmouth her ex and complain about how hard life is. She has a place to live with access to food and her own car. I'm thinking she may be doing this on purpose. Last Friday, Albert went bowling with friends. I told him that I wanted a very quiet evening and didn't want to be bothered. I got home around 7 p.m. and sat down to eat my seafood boil. Sister-in-law showed up asking for her daughter's backpack that she left behind. I was annoyed. I tried to rush to get it, but her son saw the crab legs and started insisting. I said I was sorry, but that's my dinner. So he starts crying, stomping, and repeatedly asking his mom for my food. I said I was sorry and quickly showed them out. To my aggravation, they didn't leave immediately. He cried outside for about 5 minutes while my sister-in-law sat inside her car trying to convince him to get in. I pulled down the shutters and tried to ignore them. When Albert got back, his face had a bitter expression. He said that he was extremely disgusted about the way that I treated his family. He has stopped talking to me. It's been a few days and I'm still getting the silent treatment. I've cried a few times, especially because he's been texting me despite us being physically next to each other. What a little bitch, bro. Like, not only can you not back your wife, but then you're gonna be like a little bitch and give her a silent treatment instead of communicating with her and talking this out with her so that you can clearly see that you're in the wrong. Girl, come on, get out of there. I get the whole, like, it's scary being alone, but like, being alone is much better than dealing with this shit. Maybe I've just been alone for too long and I'm too used to it, but I'm doing this shit and it's fine. It's fine. Like, sister-in-law showed up yesterday, but he wasn't home yet, so I didn't let her in. I'm angry and defeated, and I'm coming to the conclusion that I need to end the relationship because he texted me that I need to apologize to sister-in-law. I didn't want things to end between us, but I feel like they are trying to walk all over me. This is so surreal. We had planned on a cozy Christmas together months ago when things were good. I'm not trying to ruin his life. Right now, his finances are not great, and my salary makes a huge difference. I just don't want to be made to feel like his family can get away with what they're doing, and I hold resentment. I texted him about how I feel and how incredibly selfish he is to be comfortable giving to his sister with what my hard work can buy, but can't think to respect my boundaries. Am I the a-hole if I leave? I feel like somehow I'm the failure for not being willing to fight for our relationship. I don't know if we can call it gaslighting because I don't know if anybody has like specifically said gaslighting things to her, but like girl has been gaslit. Whether it's just subconsciously by the actions of others, she has been gaslit to believe that her being miserable in this relationship is her fault, which is not the case. Nobody should be in her position. Not the a-hole. File the divorce papers. I guarantee 3 months out of this relationship, she will be so fucking happy she did it. Zania, at this point, he's just using her for money. Oh my God, you're probably right, Zania. They are just boyfriend and girlfriend? Really? Actually? Am I stupid? Oh my God, you're totally right. Oh, she can have the cleanest break of her life. Oh yeah, girl, get the fuck out of there. I don't know why. The way that she was telling the story was as if they were, wow, the audacity is even more crazy, guys, to just come in somebody's house and steal food from not even their spouse, from just their boyfriend or girlfriend without asking. This is the first time I've stumbled across your lives, but I think I'll be sticking around. Your vibe is just free serotonin. That is like the sickest compliment I've ever gotten. I love that. Hold on, I'm sorry. I have to take a screenshot of that. I'm gonna put that on my Instagram story. That's so kind, bro. Dude, you guys are the best. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you guys for all your kind words. This would not be as fun as it is if I didn't have a fun chat. Update. My best friend was super helpful. She dropped everything to help me make phone calls, get things moved, packing, scouting, everywhere, just in case something could be left behind. I'm so grateful for her presence in my life. Not only did she get involved, she helped me not panic. We were able to remove everything inside my home office without too much trouble because everything had already been packed and the door was locked, so we had no way of knowing. We made it easier on the movers by confining as much of my other stuff to an area. I took only what I owned. When I moved in with him, he had some furniture that he put inside the garage because he liked mine better. He sold it when he needed the money, but that doesn't mean that he won't have anything to sit on. I didn't have any trouble getting everything out. I settled things with the landlord. I also took pictures as evidence how I left the place. I did let the landlord in, his request, for a quick inspection and to hand over the keys. Everything is in a storage unit except for my work documents that I shipped to my family's mailing address via private courier, since I'll be there for the holidays. I didn't feel comfortable leaving those at the storage unit or my hotel room. I hope I can find a co-working space, but I haven't found a spot that doesn't force me into a long-term contract, and I will be away until January. My best friend offered me her place to stay, but as much as I'm grateful, I really need to be alone. I'm planning on giving her an extra nice Christmas/thank you gift because honestly, she has been my rock. I was able to cancel the utilities in my name and to take my name off other bills. He's already been deleted from all the subscriptions and passwords have been changed. I followed advice and canceled/requested new credit cards, changed banks, and kicked him out of the grocery accounts, pharmacy, etc. I did get a new mail address from a small business center from out of town. I'll be staying at a hotel for the time being until I go to see my family for the holidays, but I'm looking for a new place, preferably out of town, to avoid seeing him. He didn't call me until 5 p.m. I didn't pick up, but he kept blowing up my phone, so I texted him that we're done and to never call me again. He sent me voice messages. Many of them were so negative that I just didn't want to fully listen to them because it made me really anxious. He insisted that I should at least return the sofa, but it's mine. He offered to pay for it, but that's bullshit. I blocked him everywhere, so that's basically it. At least he didn't get home while I was moving. From all he said, I was mostly irritated by his insistence in twisting things to his favor, saying things like, he wanted us to get married, but I showed him who I am, made me want to call him and yell at him, but I didn't. I've blocked everyone and their mother, including Tim. Chat, who's Tim? I don't know who Tim is, chat. I'm trying not to change my number for now because I run a small business and I don't want him to keep affecting me. I'm trying to get my mind off him because despite everything, he was someone that I loved and I'm still coming to terms with the feeling of being disposable, at least when it came to his family. I know that I need to work on myself and to at least understand why this has happened, but right now, my feelings are very hurt, and I want to avoid nitpicking on the whys and the reasons because I feel used, and I'm ashamed to admit it. She absolutely made the right choice here by getting out, and it's good that she's blocking everybody. I think that's super important. I think therapy is a good move, though. Like, this is all a bunch of change super fast, and it does sound like she needs somebody to talk this out with, somebody who's specifically there to help her wade through, like, the specific feelings of this. I mean, happy ending. We love to see it. We said GTFO, and she GTFO'd hard. Tim is the friends we made along the way. Fuck Tim. All my homies hate Tim. For those in the Discord, I linked the general chat to an Am I the A-hole bingo card. That is a great time to plug the Discord. Chat, if you are not in the Discord, you should be. That is the best place to get updates on when, where, how, why, and how often I will be streaming. It is the best place to yap and chat with me if you're interested in yapping and chatting. If you're here in the long run and you want to be a part of our great community, hop in the Discord. You know what? Let's have a little pet pics action. Personally, this is my favorite part of the Discord, all right? Because look at this shit, bro. You could be in the Discord with us and see this shit every single day. Oh, my stinker got a bath. We got Kitty Sierra, beautiful little tabby. That's my baby boy. There's a snack. I forgot about the snack. Hop in the Discord, all right? We have fun in the Discord. Am I the a-hole for not letting my stepson move back in after he pranked me? My wife, Karen, 45 female, and I, 48 male, have been married for 5 years. She has a son, Dylan, 22 male, from a previous relationship. Dylan and I have always had a decent relationship. Nothing super close, but I treated him like my own and helped support him through college. Dylan recently graduated and moved back in with us temporarily while he looked for a job. Things were fine for a while, but he started hanging out with some friends who he said were into pranks. A couple weeks ago, while Karen was out of town visiting her sister, Dylan decided it would be funny to prank me by wrapping all of my work supplies, computer, files, even my chair in duct tape. I work from home, and this was the morning of a big presentation I had spent weeks preparing. I lost it. The tape was impossible to remove without ruining some of my files, and I had to scramble to piece together my presentation. When I confronted Dylan, he laughed and said, "It's just a joke, chill out." I told him that this wasn't funny and that his lack of respect for my work was unacceptable. He brushed me off and acted like I was overreacting. When Karen got back, I told her what happened and said that I couldn't live with someone who didn't respect me or my home. I told Dylan he needed to move out. He packed up and went to stay with a friend. But now Karen is furious with me. She says I'm being too harsh and that Dylan is just a kid who made a dumb mistake. Dylan has since apologized, but I told him he needs to learn that actions have consequences. Karen thinks I'm being petty and putting my pride above family, but I feel like this is about respect. I mean, listen, is Dylan in the transition of becoming a kid to an adult? Yes. But that motherfucker is not a kid anymore. And not only that, he needs to not be treated like a kid so that he doesn't act like a kid at the age of 22. Shitty partner and mom. You should support your husband in his own house when he's helping support this kid. Like, if you're helping pay for things for this kid, especially something as big as college, you should have a say as their parent, in my opinion. Maybe that's a controversial take. If you've stepped into that parental responsibility of financially supporting, you should also be fit for the parental role. I feel like that's a hill I'll die on. I would be lying if I said I never did a prank. That being said, when you cross the line, you cross the line, and clearly he crossed the line. It's not overly sensitive to be like, hey, my career and my financial stability was on the line here, and you almost fucked that up for me. If he says that was too far, that was too far. Also, guys, duct tape is kind of over the top. Like, duct tape can ruin stuff like that. Like, I'm almost concerned about his computer being duct taped. I wouldn't want any type of duct tape on my computer, bro. Pranks like that are super dumb anyway. That energy can be used for something more productive. Yeah, like maybe getting a fucking job. Am I the a-hole for telling a woman where she can and can't give birth? This is one of the stranger things that's ever happened to me. To set the scene, I, 26, bought the house I'm living in 2019 from this lovely older couple. I thought, as I'm sure anyone who has been in this situation might think, that the signing was gonna be the last time I ever see them or had anything to do with their family. I was wrong. Yesterday, I got a knock on my door. I opened it to find a young couple, probably my age, maybe a bit younger. The woman was pregnant and looked like she was gonna pop any day. I asked who they were and if I could help them. The woman replied that this home used to belong to her parents and that she was born in this home. I asked again what it was that they wanted, since that didn't really tell me if they needed anything from me. She told me that her mother had also been born here in the upstairs bedroom. For context, this is now my bedroom. She then asked if I wouldn't mind letting her bring the stuff that was needed to give birth in the same spot as she and her mother were both born in. I said no, keeping in mind that A, this isn't her or her parents' house anymore, and B, that the bedroom in question is my bedroom. Now, I thought that this was as normal of a response as was possible given the strange question, but when I was telling my friends about this afternoon, one of the girls in the friend group said that it was pretty cruel of me to tell a pregnant woman where she can and can't give birth. I didn't think that what I said was all that strange, considering I had never met the couple before, and I don't exactly want a strange woman giving birth where I sleep. But my friend insists that I could have come to some sort of arrangement. What a weird request. Guys, maybe I'm cruel for this. If it was that important to your family that your babies are born in the same spot, they shouldn't have sold the house. And we've come across this multiple times, but being pregnant doesn't give you a get out of jail free card or get whatever the fuck you want card. Yeah, there are certain things you should cater towards pregnant women, but giving up your house and letting them give a bloody birth in your own bedroom? I think, chat, we can safely say that crosses a line. So there are a couple edits on here. Edit 1, I would just like to add my friend isn't an idiot. When we were having this conversation, we were, let's say, having a fun time with fun substances. When I asked her about it today, she genuinely thought she'd imagined the conversation. Obviously, she thinks it's a horrible idea for liability and health reasons, aside from it being weird. I didn't even think of that. I bet if something does happen that goes wrong during that birth, they could find a way to hold OP legally liable. Sounds like some America type shit right there. And for those concerned that she's getting high as a nurse, she's off for the next 2 weeks. She's flying home for the holidays, so we were having a little get together for those of us who are leaving for home. Edit 2, I got an email back from the previous owners. I managed to get their contact info from the realtor who sold the house. It turns out, yes, they have a daughter. Yes, apparently she is actually pregnant, and they have cut her off for being a bit on the crazy side. So yeah, I asked for anything that might be helpful for getting any kind of protection order for my house, but the cops have said that unless she actually tries anything, there isn't anything they can do. So I guess on Monday, I get to talk to someone in my county's court system to deal with this. I mean, what? She bought the house in 2019? Girl, it might be time to cash out on whatever you made from that house and move somewhere else, because that sounds like a nightmare. Ooh, entrepreneur type shit? She should try to sell the house to the pregnant woman for a lot more than it's worth. Chat, am I a bad person for saying that? Am I the a-hole for refusing to pay for my niece's college after she publicly humiliated me? I, 45 female, am child-free by choice, but have always been close to my brother, 47 male, and his daughter, Emily, 18 female. Over the years, I've saved up a decent amount of money, and I offered to help pay for Emily's college when the time came. She's a smart kid, and I wanted to give her opportunities I never had growing up. Everything was fine until last month. I was invited to Emily's high school graduation party, which was a big deal in our family. During the party, Emily gave a speech thanking everyone for their support. She thanked her parents, her grandparents, even her friends. Then she paused, looked at me, and said, "And a big thanks to Aunt Me for not having kids so she could spoil me like I'm hers. Must be nice having all that extra money and no responsibilities." The entire room laughed and I froze. I could feel everyone looking at me, and all I could do was smile awkwardly. I've heard jokes about being child-free before, but this felt cruel and unnecessary, especially since I've sacrificed a lot to save for her future. My brother and sister-in-law laughed too, which hurt even more. Chad, I'm trying to decide because I don't think the intention here was malicious. I'm reading this and I understand where OP is coming from. Like, this is a little bit weird of a way to phrase it. Maybe you guys will disagree with me. The way I'm reading this, I don't think it had ill intentions. I think she genuinely wanted to thank her aunt. Like, her saying that she has extra money and no responsibilities is like, she was basically saying like, that's the pro of not having kids, but I just think she did it super poorly. And I totally understand OP's reaction. I think the way that this is phrased very poorly. The execution was not done right. Like, the right thing to do there is to thank your aunt for helping you pay for college, but you leave it at that. You just say like, "And shout out my aunt for helping fund my education. I hope there's a day that I can repay you." That's what she should have said. I would like to think that's what she was trying to say. She just maybe is an 18-year-old who poorly worded a thank you, but I actually want to look at chat real quick. Do you guys agree with that? Do you guys disagree with that? Lack of tact is never an excuse. Do you think there's an excuse for somebody who's only 18 though? I'm not like willing to die on a hill here. I'm genuinely curious. Do you guys agree with that? Do you guys not see it? Yeah, I don't think the girl was saying it in a mean way and it just struck a chord with her aunt, so she took it harder than expected. Being 18 isn't an excuse to be an asshole. I don't disagree with that, Possum. I think it does excuse not having the tact to phrase a thank you correctly. I feel like I personally have thanked someone in a way that didn't come out right and that they didn't take as genuine, even though I tried to communicate it as genuine. I've done that. I feel like everybody has done that at some point, and I would like to think this was her ill thought about, ill planned thanking moment. Depends on whether or not she doubles down. Okay, oregano, that's a good take. After the party, I confronted Emily privately. She rolled her eyes and said it was just a joke and I needed to lighten up. My brother brushed it off, saying, "Teenagers can be dumb. Don't take it personally." Okay, so she did double down on it. Not a fan of that. I've spent weeks thinking about this and I've decided to withdraw my offer to pay for her college. I feel like she doesn't respect me or the effort I've made to support her. When I told my brother, he blew up on me, calling me selfish and accusing me of punishing Emily for one harmless joke. Emily hasn't apologized, and now I'm questioning if I'm being too harsh. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think there is an argument for them being the a-hole. I don't want to die on that hill. Is it putting them in a tough situation for them to all of a sudden have to pay for their own college? Yes, but also don't bite the hand that feeds you, bro. This is her money. She can do whatever the fuck she wants with it. Am I the a-hole for just deciding not to travel because my wife made reservations for Disney again? My wife, Jess, and I have been married for the past 13 years. We're both 39. After experiencing financial hardship throughout our 20s and early 30s, Jess and I are now fortunate enough to have the means to travel once or twice a year. The only problem is that Jess literally only wants to go to Disney World. We have been to Disney 9 times now, and every vacation we have ever taken together was to go there, including our honeymoon. Ooh, Disney for a honeymoon? Listen, bro, I'm trying to be nicer to the more casual Disney adult. That being said, if my wife suggested Disney for a honeymoon, I would literally laugh. Cause no fucking way. Let's top off our marriage with a romantic getaway to Disneyland. So we go, we eat Mickey Mouse ice cream, we wear the mouse ears, we stay in the official hotels, we see the characters, we ride the rides, we take the pictures in front of Cinderella's castle, and we come home. Every trip. I'm honestly beyond sick of Disney, and I never really liked going in the first place. Jess knows this, but she has no concept of travel beyond Disney. We're currently planning a trip for April, and Jess, as usual, said that we can just go to Disney. I explained that it sounds fun, but hey, why don't we go somewhere like Hawaii this time? Jess was confused. She asked why we would go to Hawaii, and I responded that we could enjoy the spas and go to the beach. And also me personally, Hawaii is for adults and Disney is for kids. Jess mumbled a half-hearted answer and walked away. A few days later, she approached me saying that she made hotel reservations for Hawaii. At first, I was excited because although she did so without consulting me, it seemed like she was really listening. But then, when she showed me the hotel she booked, I found out she made reservations for Aulani, the Disney resort in Hawaii. Frustrated, I told her that I'm honestly tired of Disney and that I just want to have a different experience this time. She told me that she was compromising with me and that I should be appreciative for the time she spent. I asked her if she was willing to consider anything other than Disney for our trip, and she said no. At this point, I said that I wasn't going. Now she's furious, she canceled the reservation she made, and now she's looking for a friend to go to Disney World with again, without me. No, because she's not compromising. It's literally her way or no way. Compromising is, okay, this year we go to Disney. Next year we go to somewhere other than Disney. Compromising isn't, okay, we're gonna go to Disney again, just in Hawaii. Bitch, that's still Disney. Okay, chat, clearly not the a-hole. I will say, you could have not married a Disney adult. Shoot me, bro. I'll keep my beef with Disney adults. You knew she was like this. This is unfortunately the bed you made. She hid it from him, this horrible affliction. I doubt that, Zan, and I doubt that because their honeymoon was Disney. There's no way somebody who insists on their honeymoon being at Disney, they didn't let that through the cracks before y'all got married. I doubt it. I'd put money on it. Going to Disney once a year is so unrealistic and privileged, like the rent I could pay with that. How much does an average Disney trip cost? Our baseline Disney World vacation for a family of 4 costs $7,000. This includes flights, transportation, 5-night stay, 5 tickets, lightning lane, quick service meals, snacks, and 2 table service meals. Yeah, but I'm sure it costs way more than that if you're a Disney adult, because the Disney adult's gonna want to buy shit. They're gonna want the unique experience. They're gonna want to be able to skip the line. Like, there's no way that shit is cheap, dog. Am I the a-hole for giving my manager diarrhea after eating my lunch? I never thought that something I had been prepared to do my whole life would leave me feeling so anxious and scared and guilty. I, 20 female, recently had trouble with someone stealing my lunch while at work. Typical office drama that I never thought would actually happen to me. I would be less upset if this person was just taking a few pieces, but they are eating all of my food, drinking all of my juice, and leaving the dirty, empty container inside the fridge. The disrespect. I don't care what happens here, bro. Not the a-hole. That's disrespectful as fuck. I don't care what OP does to them, if OP poisoned them, if OP fucking stole their firstborn child and sacrificed it to Satan. This person deserves it. I don't give a shit. I was really upset to the point of crying with rage because I hate it when people touch my food. It's something I prepared exclusively for myself with the intention of improving my health and bad eating habits, but it's a damn rat that's enjoying my meals. So to catch the office rat, I spent 2 weeks starting my plan by telling my close colleagues that I couldn't go to the bathroom and that I needed some tips. Then I made an appointment with the doctor, not because I was sick, but to have proof in my favor so that HR wouldn't try to accuse me of anything later. Just 2 days ago, I put a lot of laxative in my food and juice, and I took it to work on, and again, they ate everything and left the dirty bowl with nothing inside, which brought me a small, dark happiness. Today, I found out that the little thief was our manager, thanks to the rumors and gossip saying that he was in the hospital due to diarrhea. I don't know if it's true that he's in the hospital because I gave him a safe dose of laxative, but I'm sure he'll have a stomachache for at least 2 days. I was happy because this will serve as a lesson, but on the other hand, I am very worried about his health. At first, I was very angry, but now I'm worried that HR will call me in and punish me for this, even though I am the victim of the stolen lunch. On the one hand, I feel avenged, but I'm afraid of losing my job or that my manager will take revenge on me. I know I might be exaggerating, but I really need to know. Here's the thing, chat. We've read a story like this before. I know actually legally what she did, especially admitting to it on a Reddit post. She can actually be tried and probably convicted of poisoning. And I also think there is an argument to charging the manager for stealing property, because technically your food is your property. Although you would definitely get way more jail time for quote unquote poisoning someone. Those are the legal ethics of it. I say fuck around and find out, chat. I say if you're gonna steal someone's shit, you are fucking around. And if they want to poison the fuck out of you with laxatives, oh boy, should you find out. Me personally, not the a-hole. I also think, I mean, other than this Reddit post, you've covered your tracks pretty well. I mean, I would just keep doing this if he keeps eating your food. Dead ass, just keep being like, oh, I have to put laxatives in my food because I'm a little constipated. But he keep eating my food. That's on him. Hey, bro, how about you don't fucking eat her food? Little shitty poopy boy. Here's what I was thinking while I was reading the story. Tell me if I'm not cooking. Do they make like lunch boxes that have locks on them? Because high key, chat, that's what I do. Maybe this is a business opportunity, chat. Oh yeah, bro. Like this shit would rip. I mean, don't get me wrong. I definitely think you should poison them first. Chat, I probably shouldn't be saying that. Don't actually quote unquote poison people. But if it's laxatives and it's a safe dose, that person deserves all the shitty things that come to them later on. That was a good one, chat. Come on. You gotta give me credit on that. Am I the a-hole for selling my Taylor Swift tickets after my girlfriend cheated? Before we finish up this last story, if you've gotten this far into the video, that probably means that you're enjoying it. And if that's the case, all I ask is that you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future reading Reddit videos. I upload 2 a week. They're usually 40+ minutes and they go up every Monday and Thursday. On top of that, I have over 110 reading Reddit videos on my channel. So if you're looking for your daily dose of drama, head on over to my channel for hours and hours of reading Reddit stories just like this one. A few months back, I, 27 male, won some money on stake and decided to surprise my girlfriend, 25 female, with Taylor Swift tickets for her Vancouver show. She's been a massive Swiftie since forever, and I knew this would mean the world to her. I spent around $800 for 2 really good seats. Last week, I discovered she'd been secretly meeting up with her work friend for months. I found out because she accidentally left her Instagram DMs open on my laptop. She'd been using it to print something, and I saw weeks of flirty messages and plans to meet up. When I confronted her, she tried to deny it at first, but eventually admitted they'd kissed several times and had been having an emotional affair. I was devastated. These tickets were meant to be a special experience for us, and I couldn't stomach the thought of taking her after this betrayal. Rather than let them go to waste, I decided to sell them. Given how insane the Taylor Swift ticket market is right now, I managed to sell them for $2,400. Triple what I paid. I mean, bro, that's a bag. Entrepreneur. So he won some free money on stake and then bought tickets for $800 and then tripled that investment. I want to know what the turnaround was here. Like, did the $100 turn into 800, which turned into 2,400? So he 24x that shit. When she found out I sold the tickets, she completely lost it. She's been blowing up my phone, calling me petty and cruel, saying I ruined her dream and that the tickets were a gift, so they belonged to her. My friends are also messaging me saying I'm an awful person for using the tickets to hurt her. I feel like I had every right to sell the tickets that I bought with my own money, especially after what she did, but she's making me feel like I took things too far. Demanding Taylor Swift tickets from the guy that you just cheated on is crazy. Like, even if they were a gift and he told you to go to that concert anyways, the right thing to do is to give the tickets back. After you just cheated on this man? Easy not the a-hole. Hey bro, if that's really your dream, make your new boyfriend pay for that shit for you. Or God forbid, pay for it yourself. She's the one who lost a great relationship. Some dudes hate Taylor Swift anything. Exactly. The fact that bro was like, oh, I won money gambling. You know what I should do with my earnings? Instead of blowing it all on more gambling? Buy my girlfriend Taylor Swift tickets. Well, that's on her. If she's stupid enough to throw that away, like, she don't deserve those tickets.